Do you have like actual physical notes?
Yeah, I do.
Like, I'm so jealous of you guys that are able to write down your notes. That's like,
Real. I'm
don't you, anyway, I guess
dedicated.
you're a student. Don't your hands get tired? I can't write for long anymore.
Not gonna lie, like school notes, I do type them up.
Like, oh, so
But
it's just the
like,
important things that you handwrite.
yeah. And like when I'm studying, I have to write it down.
Oh yeah, and I get that part. Yeah, just part
hmm
of, is that the way you, like, that's the way it
Yeah,
sticks
so
in
I
your
retain
head.
information.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, this is the first time you and I recording like alone.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It
and
is,
is
guys.
and I think, oh, let's see how it goes. Um,
Are you
and I think
nervous?
I am nervous. I am nervous. What's
Why? I'm a good time. Come on. Guys,
that's
Banky
what
begged me to be on this, so I don't know why he's acting shy now. I don't get
that
it.
explains. I begged you. That's why I'm shy. So like, just present.
Okay. That's
Okay.
it.
Are you
That's
ready to talk
it.
about White Lotus, white people?
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Hello, and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. Quieting your monkey minds as we embark on a relaxing trip to Thailand. Take a deep breath, shut out the rest of the world, and come discuss the return of the White Lotus with us. Joining me today, in her preferred lotus position, she's far from an LBH. Guys, it's Lolade. How are you
That was
doing?
good. That was a good intro. Well done.
Just trying something different.
That was good. Very
How are
on
you doing?
theme too. I'm good. I'm good. It's been a while. How are you?
It has been a while. When was the last time you heard I'm Just a Girl? That was the
Yeah.
cinema. Uh-huh.
I think it was I'm Just a Girl.
Because you meant to do
Wow.
Bad Sisters, but then things came up.
Yeah. That's
And
it's a
so,
while.
and last time you and I recorded would have been The Regime, which is around this time last year, I think. So,
Exactly. Yeah, like January.
yeah.
It's been a long time.
Interesting.
Happy to be back on my favorite
Uh,
podcast.
oh, jeez. Well, I see the check cleared. That's good. Um, okay, so guys, well, it is here. We're going to talk about White Lotus. Obiora is going to join us at some point in the season as well. It's going to be a full house talking
hmm
about White Lotus. But firstly, before we get into anything, you guys know the drill. Admin, Severance, we are covering Severance at this point. Time you listen to this, we are probably 5 episodes into the season. So please check out our coverage. It will be Chinedu, Jeremiah, and AJ are covering that. So please check that out on this feed. We're also covering Yellow Jackets, which the first episode will be out by the time you listen to this as well. So that will be out every Friday or Saturday, depending on if you're watching on YouTube. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the Yellow Jackets release because they release the episodes on Friday on the app, but they release it on Sunday on the channel. I need Paramount Plus to just get their shit together. So it's think about us, the podcasters. Anyway, but yeah, once you watch the episode, most likely our podcast will be out about the episode. And then finally, Invincible, they are covering that. So please check that out as well. Please rate and review wherever you're listening to this podcast. We've been on 136 Spotify reviews for like a year now. I see you guys. Please rate. You can do that while you listen to the episode. The star is right there. Just click on it and give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, still give us 5 stars. It doesn't really hurt you. And please donate if you're interested. If you're feeling generous, please donate via the link in the description. Okay, let's go into White Lotus. This is the first episode of season 3, titled Same Spirits, New Form, written and directed by Mike White, who writes and directs all episodes. Before I go into this episode, I guess I'll just ask you generally, like, why did you like the show? Why did you want to do
Do
White
coverage on it?
Lotus? Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we've spoken about this before, but I told you I really enjoy like murder mystery type shows and like when someone dies and we
I
have
just
to
wanted you
figure
I
it
just
out.
wanted you to say that.
You wanted me to say that? Fair enough.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wanted it to be like Lolade enjoys murders. Um, so
But
okay, so
yeah.
that's interesting. So that's the draw
Mhm.
for you. The murder mystery is the draw for you.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
a resort isn't bad either. I enjoy vacation and a nice resort hotel, so why not combine 2 things? It's a
so
sure
are
way to
you
get me to watch.
yeah, so are you a White Lotus watcher that is like trying to figure out who dies before the finale? Is that you?
No, I
Oh,
am
okay.
interested in all the storylines. I wanna know who died, like, I like the surprise. I like watching the show, and, like, the last episode, they're like, oh like, they show us who actually died, and I'm like, "Oh, shit." Like,
Ah, okay. But you're
damn.
not
I like
investigating it.
no. No, not that
Okay, okay.
doesn't that's not my priority with the show.
Okay. Okay. So we're aligned there. Yeah. I'm also someone who just like I'm even I mostly forget who like I forget about the mystery and I just
Mhm.
again the good thing about shows like is that you're interested in the plots and the different characters journeys and you don't really care about the mystery. To that point, I actually had to go back and Google who died in the first season because I had forgotten,
I
which
actually don't
is
remember either.
so it was I mean I don't know. Is anyone that's watching this hasn't watched the first season? If you have, I'm sorry, spoiler warning. So it was Armand actually, Murray Bartlett's
Ah,
character,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is a bit crazy because I do remember him that season. I remember him a lot, but I just never remember that he died. Like I just
He
don't care
died, yeah.
about death. It's like, but that was interesting to me because it pointed out that like every season somebody important has died. Because in my head, it was like a random person that died in season one, and then season two
Mhm.
was random people, and then Tanya. But like, no, actually, it's going to be like important people. So that just means that it could be somebody. The show is not afraid to kill somebody important. Essentially,
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I do get invested in the characters and their storylines. I liked season one. I thought it was okay. I felt weird because I feel like it was very overhyped. Because I was like, wow, okay, you guys really love the show. I wasn't really
You
there. I
think
was like,
so?
this. Yeah, this is when it first came out. I was like, this is fine. Like, not fine. No, it's better than fine. Obviously, I was like, this is a good show. But everybody was like, I guess it was also COVID, and everybody was like, this is the greatest thing ever. But then season
Mhm.
two, I really love season two. I
Season 2
do
was good.
actually like. I was thinking about it even when season three started. I was like, oh, actually, I do really love season two.
I like season 2
So
and the cast. The cast for season 2 as well was really good.
and it was just not necessarily in terms of big names, just the way they all kind of meshed together. Obviously,
Mhm.
the Aubrey Plaza, Tio
Mhm.
James, Quartet, Megan
Mhm.
Fahey. I can't remember the last guy. That was Will Sharp. Yeah, that group obviously kind of was the highlight.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess let's just go into season three.
Mm.
My first note for season three was Thailand has bangers because I was just hearing bangers throughout this episode.
No, the songs are good. The it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Uh, and speaking of bangers, they changed the theme song, and that's a no.
Yes, that's my first note. The
That's a
theme
no.
song is different, I like it. I like it. I'm not
So you
mad at
like
it.
it?
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. It feels like
Can
very,
I
like
can I tell you
what?
something? No,
What?
sorry, finish. It feels like
I was gonna
very
say it feels very, like, culturally appropriate for the season.
yeah, yeah. That's the intention. So I don't usually people have probably explained my process before on this podcast, but I don't usually write notes the first time I'm watching a show. I write them the
Mhm.
second time, but then like immediately it happened. I was like they changed the theme song. That was like a note that stuck in my head, and then I wrote it down after the episode.
Mm.
So that was my first and only note from the first watch. But
Yeah.
then as I started rewatching it, I started humming along to the song, man. And I was
See?
like,
It's a
oh
good song.
god damn it, they got me again. I was like, oh, they
It's
got me.
good.
I was like, they
It
got
was good.
me. Because even season two was a bit of like a remix of the original one, but it was still quite close to it.
Yeah,
But
it was
then
similar.
this one feels very different, but there are little bits of like connect. But yeah, it's just I feel like by the end of the season I'll be like, yeah, I'll be all over the song. Um, at what point does the White Lotus stocks just plummet? Like people just like stop going to the White Lotus. What are we doing here?
Uh, that's a good
This is essentially
question.
three okay, one was just a one murder, but two mass murders, possibly in like 3 years. Like, at what point you just like, we can't keep going to the White Lotus?
No, I don't think people will stop going. Like, shit happens. People die sometimes. It's people are going on vacation, and good it's a good brand. It's a good hotel. I don't think people will let three deaths stop them. I would go to the White
So,
Lotus.
okay, so you tell me if in the real world you were going to Insight Hotel here and there was a death, a murder, not even a death, a murder of
Hmm.
of its general manager in Hawaii last year,
Yeah.
a bunch of murders in Italy, the same branch the year
Hmm.
after, and then possibly a mass shooting in like
In
Thailand.
Thailand.
You still go to the one in the UK, like you wouldn't just be like
Yeah.
maybe pick a different hotel.
I'd go to the one
Uh,
in Mauritius. I wouldn't like
maybe I'm
shit
too
if there.
superstitious.
If I don't know, like it seems like a good hotel. It seems like a good brand. It's just
Hmm.
unfortunate, and murders do happen. Just happened to be
Yeah,
at the
just
White Lotus.
yeah. At the point you'd be like, I don't want to be part of the coincidence. Like I don't. I'd just rather be at a Hilton or wherever. Like you know what? Fuck, I'll be at the Premier Inn, just somewhere that just
Premier Inn.
just people are getting killed. People are probably getting killed at Premier Inns. Okay, so what were your thoughts, general thoughts on this first episode? Just big
um,
picture stuff.
Big picture stuff. I liked it. I liked the introduction to the
Hmm.
characters and the dynamics in their groups. I liked that. I think it was a good introduction again. Um, Overall, I'd say very surface level episode. Again, not a lot going on. So it's a
Hmm.
good way to like bring us all into Thailand and like see who these people are and what's going to happen. Um, that's what I thought. So far, so good. I'm interested, I guess, into like
Yeah,
the different characters, and I guess we'll get into that later.
yeah. This is because I didn't go back and rewatch seasons, obviously, because you don't really have to. I just remember that I loved it. But this is the
Hmm.
longest White Lotus season so far. This season is 8 episodes, and
Okay.
it feels like Mike White is taking his time, like, and that's a good thing. That's not a pejorative. I was
Hmm.
like it feels like he's not. First season was 6 episodes. You have to be in and out. Second season was 7 episodes,
Yeah.
a bit longer. This one feels like because I like this episode as well, but it feels like he's
Hmm.
taking his time in this kind of like to develop the characters and the relationships like you mentioned. There isn't
Yeah.
really like a there's maybe just one scene with Patrick Schwarzenegger that is like oh, this is the scene that will blow up on Twitter kind of thing. There isn't really that kind of catch in this episode. It's just
Yeah.
let me show you these characters and maybe do some hints as to the kind of secrets or whatever that they're holding. So yeah, I did like this episode. So but yeah, I'm excited. I think there are things here that could bear the fruit of like a good dramatic season. So I'm excited. You mentioned the cast, so I am just gonna
Yeah.
quickly no, actually, no. Let me run through the cast first, and then we'll go into who we kind of like liked going in. So, Leslie Bibb, Carrie Coon, and Michelle Monaghan play three
Hmm.
longtime friends
Yep.
who are on a girls' trip. Walton Goggins and Amy Lou Wood from Sex Education are a couple. Um, Walton Goggins is significantly older than her. Jason Isaacs and Parker Posey are Southern parents to Sam Nivola, as I mentioned earlier, Patrick Schwarzenegger's character, and it that I I don't know Sarah Catherine Hook. I feel like I've seen her somewhere, but I just couldn't really place it. She
Did
plays
you?
the
No.
mhm.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna ask. Did you ever watch that show on Netflix, First Kill, about like the vampire and the vampire hunter?
No, I didn't. So is
Okay.
that where she? Okay, I just her face just looked fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Natasha Rothwell reprises her role from season one as Belinda, and then
Mm-hmm.
they're a group of like White Lotus employees, as they usually are. Like
Mm.
Patravadi plays one of the owners who may have a connection to Walton Goggins' character. We'll get into that. Um, yeah, So going into the season, who did you know was in the show?
I knew Natasha Rothwell was returning. I knew Amy Lou Wood was in it. I knew Walton Goggins. Um, that's about it. But then, wait, do you mean like who did I know was going to be on the show, or who do I know from the cast
Well,
outside the show?
first, I was asking who did you know was going to be on the show?
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So those
Yeah.
people I knew they were going to be
Uh-huh.
in the show. And
Okay.
then started the episode and I started seeing different faces and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
Okay. So
I like
based
that.
on the faces, not counting the storyline so far, like what's your excitement level for like the characters? Just based on
Uh,
who's playing the characters.
and who's playing?
Mm,
I'm excited to see Walton Goggins as
okay.
Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I watched the show called The Righteous Gemstones. He was
Everyone should watch The Righteous Gemstones.
a great show. He's a not horrible, but he's not the best person
Baby
in
Billy.
there.
Baby Billy.
Yeah, and he's not the best person in this now. It's like his character. I'm interested to see what Rick does, because I just know right off bat he's up to some nefarious shit, and I can't. He's a horrible boyfriend.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He's a horrible boyfriend.
Um, yeah, Walter Goggins is one of the best person in Fallout, or one of the best person in Invincible. There's gonna be a period in March where Walton Goggins is gonna be on White Lotus, Invincible, and Righteous Gemstones all at the same time. That's just cool. That's just a cool thing
Oh,
to be
him.
happening.
That's really
Um,
cool.
so apart from Goggins, who else were you like? Who else like your ears, or rather your eyes perk up at seeing?
Carrie Coon and Leslie Bibb.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, Bibhead.
yeah. I think she's really cool. I watched my dad is really into Hellboy, and so we watched a lot of Hellboy growing up.
Yeah.
And this sitcom American Housewife. And I don't know, like her character in that show is sort of similar to the character she's playing now. So I want to see where it goes. Carrie Coon, of course, Gilded Age, another
Yeah.
great show. Who else? The guy who plays Belinda's son, Zion.
Where do you know him from?
He's in Bel Air.
Is he?
That
Okay, I
show
don't watch
Bel
Bel
Air.
Air.
Yeah.
I don't watch Bel
Yeah.
Air. I literally never seen it before. That's interesting. Um,
He's in Bel Air.
yeah, I mean, for me, my number one draft pick was Carrie Coon. I think she's one of the best actresses working.
Yes, she
I have
is.
never not liked her in anything I've seen her in. Obviously, you mentioned The Gilded Age, The Leftovers as
Mhm.
well, which
Oh my gosh, The
unfortunately I still haven't
Leftovers.
seen. Like, it's a show that, like, so
What?
here's the thing about me on Leftovers. Like, I don't want to watch Leftovers like one a day. Not like I don't want to watch it when I get the time or while I'm eating. Like, I want to watch the Leftovers when I know I can watch the Leftovers. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
there's some shows that I just start and I'm like, okay, I'll get to you when I get to you. But like Leftovers, I want to commit the time. So Leftovers is
Okay.
something that I just maybe when I'm on like when I'm finally on like a break or a holiday, I'll just watch the Leftovers.
Right. Spanky doesn't take
And
breaks, guys. He's lying.
we'll take a break when we've blown. Yeah, so I mean Carrie Coon, obviously, I think I actually first knew her in Gone Girl. That was the first time I actually kind of saw Carrie Coon. She plays Ben
Mhm.
Affleck's twin sister, Margot. And then yeah, she's just great everywhere. She was in season 2 of Sinner. And yeah, she's just a great actress. And like actually, and yeah, so it's Carrie Coon, and then like you said, Goggins. I was like, oh, Goggins is in this, I'm interested. Michelle Monaghan as well is someone that is just like I've seen her in so many things. She was last year, she was in Bad Monkey. So the fact that like her and Carrie Coon, and obviously like you said, Leslie Bibb in the same storyline, that was kind of interesting for me, which
Yeah.
actually leads me to that's the storyline right now that I'm most interested in.
Me too.
Immediately I just started thinking of that. I'm sure you know that tweet or online thing of how like girls can go on a holiday as friends and come back as friends. I was like,
You know
who's
what?
going to? It's true. We can't fight it. I actually have
What do you mean is
firsthand.
true?
Look, I have firsthand experience of this. Like, I know two groups of friends who just went on holiday and came back and they just weren't friends anymore. And like, as the boy on the outside of the group, you're like, what the hell happened? What happened here?
I feel
So
like
like,
that's a gross like generalization. Friend
I
groups do
mean,
survive. Okay.
I mean, the fact that you're saying like they do survive, that means there's the outlier. It's like most likely that like surviving is like you're like, oh wow, we
No,
survived.
don't
Mm,
read my words. No, just take it
okay,
as what I
well,
said. Don't read
but
into
yeah,
it.
I'm very interested in. Then I mean, let's just touch on that storyline now. I think we'll get
Okay.
into the Jason Isaacs family in a bit. But yeah,
Yep.
I think from the jump, I was kind of like, because again, Carrie Coon is so good, and the camera catches out points where she's just kind of looking at Bib and Bishop. But guys, I
Yeah.
apologize for most of this run. I'm probably going to refer to the characters by their cast names, at least until the names stick in. So yeah, I do apologize. But yeah, she's just kind of looking at Bib and Monahan like throw compliments at each other, and you could feel like she's the most dubious. Like I don't know, they seem to be. Maybe I don't know. This might be a gendered way of reading it, but they seem to kind of be like I don't know. They're lacing their knives with sugar. Like they're
Mm.
saying nice things, but really they mean it kind of in a mean and hurtful way. And Carrie Coon just seems to be like observing and watching and like, what are these guys doing? And obviously she then goes into the room, and that was very surprising to me because that was not the reaction I thought she was going to
I was gonna
have.
have like when she broke down.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you thought this as well. I thought she was going to like scream or like
I
do
thought she
have
was
an
going to
angry
scream.
reaction. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
I thought
she
she was
broke
going to
down and
scream, but she cried, and it's very interesting. Like again, like you said, their dynamic and the friendship, and I think Kate, that's Leslie Bibb, and Monahan. I actually don't remember her character's name. Wait, I think I have it here.
Jacqueline, the actor.
Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Yes, they. I don't I don't think it's a knife like coating their knives with sugar. More so of like they're being very fake and like
Mm-hmm.
surface level. What my opinion watching this show, and not old friends, long time friends. I think they haven't been friends for a long time, and if they have been, it's
Okay.
been very surface level. You know those friends that you have just cause they say it, we grew up together, went to the same
Mm,
school from the age of 9 till high school, and
yeah.
that's sort of what is keeping them together as friends, quote unquote. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like Kate is overly expressing like gratitude to Jacqueline and how oh she looks so pretty and she's so happy for her and like thank you for this vacation and oh I'm gonna cover your spa treatments or whatever. It's very forced, very faux,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not real. It's not coming from like their heart. And I think that's where Lori is like she's like, I'm surrounded by two people I really don't know anymore, to be honest. She really doesn't
Mm-hmm.
know who those people are anymore.
So why do you think like her reaction is to break down and not like we thought like go out in anger, like shout in anger at them, at these fake friends?
I don't know, I guess it's very emotional. Um, these aren't two people that she's known, like she doesn't know them as adults anymore,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say. And you wouldn't want to go confront them and be like, what the hell? What is this? Like, why are you doing this? Or like, what are you saying? It's more of like I guess she feels alone because the way
Mm-hmm.
Kate and Jack talk to each other, it's like they're closer,
Mm.
quote
Okay.
unquote. I don't know. I'm just assuming,
No, that
but
actually
I don't
works because
know.
I'm just remembering her in the room and she's quite literally on the outside looking in. And even a lot of the scenes, the way it's kind of shot is that like Kate, is that Leslie
Yeah,
Bibb?
yeah,
Kate and Jack are like on the same side of the room.
yeah,
And then Carrie Coon is on the other side and when she gets to get the wine or she's at the table. So like it
yeah.
makes sense that there's that
Exactly.
divide. That could make sense. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm very excited for this storyline, just kind of like a kind of human drama I think that's where we're gonna like that may not necessarily interfere with the bigger things, because like all I really know, we're recording this before any real like price has come out, but all I really know from last season when Mike White was talking about season 3 was like he was gonna deal with spirituality, obviously. He's in Thailand, so he's gonna deal with Buddhism and Eastern religion and everything. I would have said maybe they'll deal with sex work, but they did that in season 2, so I doubt that will
Yeah.
happen again in season 3. But yeah, I mean, this friendship kind of seems the most fertile ground for like good human interpersonal drama. Do you have any thoughts on these guys before we kind of move on?
No, just that I think their story is the one I'm most excited about for this season.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. Goggins. So I
Mm,
had no idea Amy Lou Wood was in this season. Like I didn't watch the trailer or anything. I think everybody else I kind of just knew based on like, I don't know, tweets or information or whatever. I just had no idea Amy Lou Wood was in this season. That's good for her. Happy for her.
mm,
Yeah, so Goggins is her much older boyfriend. Um it's so funny because there was a point when I thought that like the show was actually like actively misdirecting us. Like they wanted us to think that they were a couple, but then to find out that they were not or something, but then it's revealed in this episode that they are.
yeah.
So you said Goggins might be something nefarious. Why do you think so?
I don't know. He seems very shifty, doesn't he?
I think that's just
He's like
Goggins.
on edge, and like he was in the first scene when they get to their room and
Mm-hmm.
he's talking to Mook,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, is the owner here?
Mm-hmm.
Or he was like, is her husband here? And she answers and he's like, shit, and like he's visibly upset. I don't know. I just think he's up to something very, very shady. Every time he's in a scene, he's just like on edge or like agitated
So
and being
my
mean.
yeah, always being my reading, which is granted very soap opera-y, but White Lotus can get soap opera-y,
Mm.
is that the owner's husband is his dad.
Dad, that's what I thought. So
Yeah, that's kind of is either that or a business thing. So I'm kind of leaning towards the dad thing right now.
yeah.
And that's kind of why he's angry that he was not around,
Mm-hmm.
but he was in Bangkok. That's kind of just my reading on it. Because obviously they mentioned that he's notably American. He's played by Scott Glenn, which means he's definitely, who was also in Bad Monkey last year. And well, people know Scott Glenn from, he was Stick in the Netflix The Devil series. So yeah, like that's a guy that will definitely appear during the course of the season. So that was just kind of reading that that's his dad.
His dad.
Um, yeah, and Amy Lou Wood used to be a yoga instructor, and then he probably fell in love with her or fell infatuated with her, and then started paying for travel across the world.
I don't see any love in that relationship.
Yeah, infatuated maybe at first. I don't think there was ever love. It's
Mm-hmm.
very, very quickly got away. Speaking of Amy Lou Wood, she makes a friend at the bar,
Mm-hmm.
and this friend has a boyfriend who is balded, and I literally burst out laughing
Why?
because you know who her boyfriend is, right?
Yeah, I know the face. I don't know his name though.
Uh, oh, oh yeah, that's Tanya's ex-husband.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so
Yes.
that's why I burst out laughing.
That's why
It's
you burst out
like,
laughing? Okay.
I was
I
like,
thought
why?
you mentioned because he was balding. I was like, why is that funny?
No, I mean, I think I'm in the wrong position to laugh about that.
Yeah. I was like, why is that funny?
No. Just the fact that like why are you back here, Glenn? I
Why?
think his name is Glenn. Oh gosh, I'll confirm this. Glenn sounds familiar. But like, I didn't expect him to be in the season. It's just like, why are you back in a ridiculous relationship where you hate the person that you're with? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't know. And it's also funny because earlier in the episode, sorry, when they mentioned that, when the owner mentions that she's married to an American,
Mm-hmm.
my head first goes to him. Yeah, Greg, sorry, not Glenn, Greg. And I'm like, oh wait, is her husband Greg? It was like, so when he does appear later in the episode with a different person, I just burst out
Yeah.
laughing. It just killed me, because he just always looks so miserable. This man tried to kill, or not tried, like he planned to kill his ex-wife a
Plant.
few years ago,
Yeah.
and like he's just, I'm just like, he always looks so miserable. I'm like, why are you in this position again? Why are you at a third? Why? Maybe he's the reason. Maybe he's the bad omen that's causing all the
You
White
know
Lotus
what?
murders.
Yes,
So maybe it's not White Lotus the fault. It's just Greg
it's
going
Greg.
around. Um, yeah, I don't know. She makes friends with this ex model, which I don't know. God knows. I don't know. Those kind of meetups, I'm always looking at. Try a show like White Lotus. I'm looking at them kind of funny. I'm just like, I always feel like somebody's playing somebody. Nobody's ever that like friendly on a show like the White Lotus.
Yeah.
Like think of like
So
maybe
you're
even
not
Leo
just
Woodall.
trusting.
This show doesn't really just
Yeah.
have natural friendships. Um, Leo Woodall last season. Sydney, I can't remember the character's name, but Sydney's friend, the black girl,
Mm-hmm.
when she made friends with the worker in season 1. Like nobody
Yeah.
actually makes good friends at a White Lotus. Something bad usually happens. So yeah. Okay, so the family. This is Jason Isaac's family. Where do you want
Yeah.
to start with this family?
I don't even know. I don't even know. There's so much. Let's start with their accents. I loved it. The southern accent.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my favorite. It reminded me of one of my clients from Texas, and every time we get on a call, it's just so good. I just love to hear them speak
so
and say
you
my
love his
name.
southern accent.
Yeah, not to have
I
it, but to hear
to
it.
hear. Yeah. I think Jason, would you date somebody with a southern accent?
No,
So it's okay.
I'm
So
gonna
you want to
get
hear
old
it.
very quick.
You want to hear it once in a while, not like every day.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I think Jason Isaacs is like. I was like, oh, I didn't catch any like slip ups or anything. I was like, oh, that actually. I mean, I do think like this is not even like a pejorative or anything. I do think like southern accent always just has like a twang to it, like a funny. You're just like it's like you said. It's just always so like maybe I'm missing. Maybe there's something that is I miss, and people and actual southerners be like that accent is terrible to me. I was just like, oh yeah, he pulled it off. But yeah, he's probably embroiled in some corruption, fraud,
Oh,
maybe.
for sure.
um,
For sure.
yeah, he said he had never heard from his partner in years, and then he calls him straight away. So like, there's definitely something there. Um, his wife, played by Parker Posey, who this time
Mm-hmm.
last year was killing it on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So the first
I
thing that put
have
in my
a
head was like,
question
yeah, go ahead.
about the wife. Is she on drugs?
So the first thing I had is like, she's probably post depression, post anxiety, whatever. Like it feels
Okay.
like
Feels
it
like she's
feels
on
like she's.
Xanax.
So I think later in the episode she mentioned that she's on lorazepam,
Those are the Pam, yeah.
which is I think for anxiety. But like throughout the episode, it feels like he's carrying her like a sacred egg. Like he doesn't like he's trying to
Mm-hmm.
protect her, and like doesn't and
Mm-hmm.
even some of her movements and actions are a bit floaty. So
Mm-hmm.
like I was just like, you're right. I was like, huh. But even like later when they're in bed and she's like, she's got a second wind, and he's like, oh Christ. And then she's like, don't
And
worry,
she's like, don't worry, yeah.
I've medicated. So yeah, I do feel like, and then even at the table when she wakes up and she's like, scratch my arm. Like, yeah, I do feel like there are things in my head. I think she probably had a breakdown, and he's trying to just kind of like put her together,
Yeah,
and hold her together.
for sure. That's what I think too.
The
The
kids.
kids. Oof.
So my
Who do you want to start
notes.
with?
Well, my note is, which HBO show is this? Because from the first, okay, not the first scene, like when they're showing them the rooms, I started getting strong Targaryen vibes.
Mm.
And I was just like, I don't think White Lotus can do that. I don't think so. But I was just like, maybe that's my mind. Maybe,
Oh.
maybe Game of Thrones has fucked me up so badly. But I was
No,
just
I
like,
don't think so, because no, it gave me the vibes for sure too. It was uncomfortable almost, actually.
which part are you talking about?
You're talking about Lockie and Piper.
I love that you have all their names down already, but yes, I'm talking about him, yeah, like
Lockie and Piper, like sharing the room part, okay,
shit.
but also later in the episode, something else happens. Like Saxon says something, and I'm like,
I mean, go ahead. You can say what he said.
he's like talking about his sister's sex life and how she's not
Yeah,
getting some and how
and
she's
that she's
hot.
hot. Yeah.
What?
So, oh God, I really do hope.
That
Actually, I don't know if
entire
I hope
scene,
this
actually.
because I hope next week you won't be here. You'll be our journey for episode 2. But I hope next week, like this theory is like proven wrong. But at the same time, that will make us sickos for even having it in the first place. So, but I was just like, it could be that like Schwarzenegger's character Saxton, incredible douche name. Well done, Mike White. That's an incredible name. Um, he is probably saying those terrible things, but would
Mhm.
never act on it. But Lachlan is like acting on it, but would never actually like say it. I don't know. It's
Say
just
it.
yeah, because
Something is
even
going
like
on there.
the way he's stuck when she's like, "Would you come with me to the temple?" and he's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna come with me to the pool," and then like the way she's like basically begging him to come, like with her eyes,
Mhm.
and then I think she says thank you when he says he'll compromise or whatever. I don't know.
Mhm.
It was just giving very. I was like, and then obviously, like you said, there's that conversation in bed, and then Schwarzenegger's character starts talking about um masturbating, and then he goes to the bathroom, and then his brother watches him walk to the bathroom naked, and then he eventually closes the door.
Yeah.
Just like
Also, why was he making eye contact with his brother, like Lucky or Lachlan, whatever his name is? Like, why did he keep looking? Why didn't he turn away?
Targaryens, man, they do things.
I'm
I
suspecting him.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's like yeah, um, yeah, he might be Targaryen, but we don't know which way he's going, which of the siblings he's going. I don't know. I don't know. I would be very surprised if Mike White decides to go down an incest route. Like,
Incest?
I'll be
Oh.
very surprised
Do
if he does
you
that.
know
But
what's crazy though?
yeah,
The actress who's playing Piper, she
uh
was in this Prime Video show called Cruel Intentions. I couldn't
okay,
finish it.
yeah,
It was not good. Anyways, it's like a reboot
yeah,
or a
of the movie,
retelling.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And there's incest in that, and she's sleeping with her brother. So it would
Huh.
be very interesting to see if she's going to be doing it here again.
So my initial thing would be like, oh, maybe that's intentional then, like, because they're not doing incest, they're trying to like throw us, they're trying to make us think it's that by having her in
Mhm.
the role again, but then it's not going to be. But then I think they'd have shot this too close for that decision
Yeah.
to have been the case. So, huh, okay, that's interesting. Let's see.
Let's see.
Oh, let's see where that goes. Oh my god! But I mean, I think on rewatch very early on when they're talking to their like wellness person,
Mhm.
I can't remember who it is. Either dad or the mom is like, "We're a normal family," and I'm like, "Are you
Right?
though?
It was the
Are you?"
mom, and I think
It's like,
she's
"Are you
trying to,
though?"
like, overcompensate for something or, like,
Mm-hmm.
just preempt it, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're definitely not normal. Another thing I wanted to point out that scene, like, the what would I call her? The lady asked them, she's like, "Yeah, tomorrow you'll be taking tests," and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "What kind of test? I don't like tests. I don't do
Mm-hmm.
well with tests." I feel like that reaction was weird. Cause why did she
I,
react like that? What did she think
I
the
mean,
test was going to be?
it could go back to
Like,
our thing about like
mental yeah,
her mental state.
yeah,
Go back to that. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, so obviously we mentioned that like the Babe Monahan Carrie Coon storyline is the one that we think has like the most fertile ground for human drama.
yeah.
This one has the most ground for human drama. Like, there's just so much that could happen here. Like, there are 5 characters, and the connections are weird, and even like the way the dad was kind of like overpowering, not overpowering, domineering the son in terms of like you're going to Duke.
I'm trying to
Was the
Duke,
discussion
yeah.
there and all of that stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
There's a lot to do there. I think obviously Piper is going to be the our entry point into the whole religion of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of religion, let me just rewind all the way to the beginning of the episode. I thought it was interesting that like Zion swims to that Buddhist.
Intermediate
Why
place.
are you laughing at Zion already?
Because I have notes for that as well.
Oh, okay.
I
Then let's.
literally I literally wrote, I'm gonna read it verbatim. I said,
Uh-huh.
praying to the Buddha statue and then to Jesus is so funny. It's like two-factor authentication. He's covering all his bases.
Yeah, but
I
then I
thought that
also
was
found
very
it.
funny.
First of all, yeah, I 100% to factor authentication, but also like the fact that he did the Buddhist statue first, and
Mm-hmm.
then he immediately goes to like insult the Buddhist statue. I don't know. I just found that whole sequence of events so interesting. Like he prays to Buddha essentially, then prays to
Yep.
Jesus, and then insults Buddha all within like 2 minutes. I was just like, you didn't even give me a chance to answer your prayer. You're already cussing him
No.
out. Um, yeah, and I think very early I was like, oh, this is Belinda's son. Because when he's like, I grew up in Hawaii and whatever, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is Belinda's son. Because just like Belinda, I would have been very surprised if I saw more than two black characters on the show that were not related. So, uh,
She was so surprised. I thought that was good. A
I
good
do
call
wonder if
out.
like the people that she was saying hi to, like imagine if they were not like of her mindset, just like why is this woman saying hi to like why
Maybe,
is this
yeah.
random woman saying hi to us?
I don't think
Um
so though. I feel like black people, especially on
oh yeah,
vacation,
yeah,
are
yeah.
very yeah, it's always
Most black people
nice.
would have been like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying if they weren't, then they're just like, that's weird. Um but they did look like they would get it.
Mhm.
Um Speaking of Belinda, her storyline is the one I am most intrigued about.
Why is that?
More from like a macro meta point of view because they didn't need to bring her back.
Mhm.
So like they have to show the relevance to the story. Does that make sense? It's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing with Tanya in season 2. Like
Yeah.
for half of the season, I was like, I don't. Why is Tanya here? Like you could
Yeah.
have told this story just an entirely new cast, but then obviously Tom Hollander comes and all the gays come, and I'm like, okay, I actually enjoying the story. These gays are trying to murder me. Um, so yeah, with the Natasha Rothwell one is kind of like, okay, you've made the decision to bring her back. What does that mean now? Like you kind
Mm.
of other storylines have like you can pass or fail them without it
Mhm.
being like a big mark, but here is like you kind of have just justify her existence. You kind of have to explain why you brought her back.
Yeah,
Um,
and bringing
so
her son in as well. Like, what
yeah,
story are they trying to tell?
and he has that look where he's like, I've been dealing with finals and other things, so like there's clearly
Mhm.
something there. He's there for like 2, 3 days, and then there's a shooting.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, speaking of the shooting, before we wrap up, I think the people that we noticed with guns this episode are like the security guards for, I believe, they're for the owners.
Yeah.
Um, Outside, they're the ones that we saw with guns, and then there's the whole storyline with Mook and the guy who is clearly in love with her, and he's like
In
the parking
love.
attendant.
Yeah.
This show has always done like good work in terms of like the storylines for the locals. So yeah, I'm interested to see. Apparently, she's a K-pop star. That's a realm that I have.
Really?
I think she's in Blackpink or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a realm that I know nothing about, so I will
Don't
not even
worry, we're in the
pretend.
same boat.
Really? Oh, I thought you'd be a K-pop girly.
Elaborate on that.
I don't know. You're hip and you're culturally relevant, so I thought you would know these
Are
things.
you trying to no.
Save myself? Yes, yes, I am
Yeah.
trying to save myself.
No, I'm not into K-pop, but thank you
Uh,
for the compliments.
Compliment.
I'll
Yeah, it
take
is a
them.
compliment. Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see where that storyline goes. I love me as a mutual friend of ours as well. I love me a disillusioned, tired old man. In this case, he's not old, but I really want the manager to just be like stressed out and tired of life and work. The sequence where
Oh,
he's like telling the waiter to not take the food was just like hilarious to me.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm trying to see what they kind of do, the storylines they kind of do with with the locals as well and people that are based in Thailand.
In
Yeah,
Thailand,
it's like
yeah.
8 episodes, 2 months worth of story. So I'm sure like we will probably get into this. Hopefully it lives up to the highs of season 2.
Right. I think,
Yeah.
yeah. I think so far so good. Again, like it's just an introduction to the characters, but I think there's a lot of ground to cover,
Yeah.
and I wonder who dies.
Oh yeah.
That's that's what I'm
Yeah.
interested in.
Hopefully it wasn't just like the theme of sex last season that made it great, and like they can actually do, because Mike White seems to have a lot on his
Something.
mind, and like in terms of, so I think in terms of religion, and I think they said they want to deal with death this season as well, like more, I think more directly than just somebody dies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that will be interesting to see what they do with that this season. Anything else? I think we missed anything.
No, no, I don't think we missed anything. Um, just looking. No, I think we covered all of it.
Oh,
We covered all of it. I did write one thing down from
yeah.
the Ratcliffes getting to their suite, and they were telling them about locking away their devices, and who said, yeah, and Saxon goes, I get a better pump listening to music.
Yeah.
Saxon, I think that is a perfect name for this character because he's just such a douche. Like,
Yes.
I know that white boy who went to Duke, and he's just everything.
He's actually like
Yeah.
everything aligns with who this character should be. Like
Yes.
he went
He's
back home, he's working for his dad. Like everything just kind of aligns.
It
Um
does.
he probably wasn't, I don't even know. I don't think he was on the football team. I think he was someone that thought he should have been. But like, or if he was, he wasn't really good, but like he used the fact that he was on the team just to get into everything.
He was definitely
Like,
in a
but
frat.
yeah,
He
100%,
was in a frat.
100%. He lives in
There's
a frat
no
house
doubt
all
about it.
through. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, what does his brother ask him? What should I want? And he's like, pussy. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's
Yeah.
just the be all end all of
Like,
our wants in life.
I know what you are, Saxon. Not good.
Never had a long term relationship. If he had, they were cheating on each other consistently. But yeah, I mean, intrigued to see him. Intrigued to see everyone. Like, there's no one I've like so far. I'm not out on any storyline, so I'm very
Yeah.
intrigued to see kind of where everything goes. Belinda is very interesting to me. Just like, why is she here?
Why
I
is she
really want to
back?
like, yeah, I'm really, because like, yeah, I even like the fact that she when she arrives kind of almost like the servant's entrance of the beach.
Yes.
Like just away, siloed off. It's
Away. Yeah. Even
yeah.
where she's staying, it's like different. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I think she's there
We'll
to
see.
learn, I guess, but let's see what
I mean,
this
hopefully
season
she doesn't
brings.
die.
That's all I'm thinking about now, because like
It's
you
not a good
pointed
track
it
record
out
of
that
season one.
Tanya came back
Yeah,
and
I was
she,
gonna say it's not a good track record of season one stars coming back in shows.
yeah,
So yeah. Okay, let's leave it there. Like I said,
mhm,
Obiara will join me next week for episode 2, and then Lolade will be back after that, and we'll probably have a full house from
yeah,
episode 3 onwards. But yeah, for now, like I said, please rate and review wherever you're listening. If you forgot at the beginning, just do that now while you're listening to this. Just swipe down, go to the star, rate. You can rate on Spotify, you can rate on Apple. You can even leave reviews on Apple Podcasts, just like good podcast, funny podcast. You can even write bad podcasts and still give you 5 stars. Nobody's judging you. But yeah, please rate and review. Please check out everything we're doing. Follow us on all platforms just so you can get notified of the things we're covering. Like I said, Severance, Invincible, Yellow Jackets, White Lotus. It's a very packed few months, and then we'll probably have continued Oscars coverage up till the Oscars on March 3rd. Brady, thank you very much. Welcome back to the podcast after a while.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
And yeah, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. By which time, hopefully, we would know if this is a Game of Thrones show or not. But yeah, like I said, thank you very much for listening. And guys, join me next week and I'll be joined by the one, the only Oscar winner, Daniel Kaluuya. Bye guys.